Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back to the Going For It Sim Studio. This is how I start every single day when I come out and play in the sim. I got to come out, I have to take out the bikes that I store here because I still need to use it a little bit as my garage. As I start everything up, we turn on the unit, the projector, the computer, and then I clean the balls up. And generally when the loading screen is going, because I have so many shots on here, it takes a little while. I usually warm up. I'll generally stretch a little bit, and this time around, we're just gonna go straight into a warm up where I'm gonna just hit a few really easy shots, make sure I have my technique right. This is when I check my grip, my feet position, make sure my stance really is where it needs to be. I want my entire setup to be right, and this is something that I work on every single day, especially right here at the beginning. Now, when I come in, there's a few changes I have to make. Sometimes I use the graph, a lot of the times I don't. I like to go in lately and I change my auto continue down to 1 second because I don't necessarily want to wait a really long time. I'm not looking at the data as much as general. And I'll usually start with a 9-iron or a pitching wedge. And then every single day is just focused on one thing I'm trying to learn. Lately, it is my takeaway, make sure that my face is closed, and it's really trying to get my legs forward so that if you were to draw a line down the middle of my setup at the very beginning and at the end of my swing, I need to be ahead of that with the correct hip rotation. So that's what I'm really working on, and that has a lot to do with rolling at the ankles. So today, it's really all I want to do. And so I will just kind of take that first cold shot really easy and try to do what I want to do and slowly work a bigger backswing in. So these are just very short. I'm not even really going to P2. It's kind of P1.5. And just wanting to get everything where I need to be. Like that one, I use too much shoulders. I try to analyze every shot that I take in the sense of what did I do wrong and what do I need to make sure that I'm trained for. My hands need to be trained. I need to make sure that when I come back, my wrists are where they need to be, and that when I come through, I'm holding that and keeping my head behind the ball. That's where I'm at. It could be totally different for you. Every day you go out, you're gonna look at something different. Let's get down to practicing. Okay, now that I'm warmed up, I'm gonna start looking at a few key metrics focused on really what I want to do today in this session, and that is compression. Putting everything together that I'm learning right now that I talked about a little bit earlier. I want to put all of that together, make sure that I'm compressing the ball, and then what I'm going to look at metrics-wise is just two things. I want to look at the attack angle, and I want to see what my path is. I want to make sure that I have an in to out path, and I want that attack angle always to be descending. I don't want to scoop the ball. That's where you get proper compression. You could go a little bit further and look at dynamic loft to make sure that my shaft lean and impact is there, but I'm not super focused on that. So for me right now, I just want to be able to get a solid amount of compression on the ball that's going to get the ball to go slight draw every time. And it's hard. So every time I do a shot, I think about it and say, okay, what did I do wrong on that one? On that one, I felt like my takeaway was a bit weak, and I didn't quite get down on the ball where I wanted to, although it was pretty close, and it didn't really draw. It kind of started left and went left. And for me, because I'm so new and I have so much to work on, that one was much better, that I constantly have to do this. So yeah, my training sessions go a little bit long, but that's okay. I'm not in a hurry. There's nobody behind me. No one's waiting for a spot. And so to utilize your simulator correctly, this is a really good way to do that. And so you want to think of it every time. So let's just kind of maybe do, here's what I fall back into, is a lot of times for me, I'll get what I want, but I won't move forward and come back this way. So a lot of the times what I'll end up doing is something that looks like that. And it's a bad habit that I fall into, and it causes a lot of these pulls, or it'll go the other way and I'll open the face and it'll go straight right because I'm not shifting. Therefore, my club face isn't getting closed naturally. And when I'll do that, I'll say, okay, I know what I did wrong. I didn't shift my hips. I am getting good enough now where my repetitions actually can be felt and I know, okay, that's what I did wrong. So I just stand back a little bit and I'll give it some practice. And I'm still not doing full swings quite yet because I need to really focus on getting that compression, getting forward behind the ball with my head and getting that compression down. You know, I also tilt my head this way for some reason. So it's all the bad habits that we all have. And as you're progressing, you really want to focus on that just so you get better. So a couple practice swings. Again, always focus, grip, setup, feet. I want all of it to be where I want to be. And then we get it there. And think about every single shot and make sure that every single shot is where you want to get it. And when you get it right, really, really just kind of let that feeling soak in so that you can practice it to not where you get good at it, but where you can't get it wrong. That's what makes a difference between a casual player and somebody looking to get a lot better is can you practice it enough to where you don't get it wrong. That's where I want to be. And that's where I spend so much time out here. And I will do that until I find myself tired. And I'll start to notice it because everything kind of falls apart. I do go through my clubs. I'll start with a 9. I might go down to a wedge and I'll work my way up to the clubs that I'm uncomfortable with so that I can get a little bit more comfortable with it. So make sure when you practice, the number one thing to focus on, you know, if you're not out here just having fun and playing around, you know, get some efficient practice. Really think about what you're doing, figure out what you're not doing right. I definitely recommend getting an online coach or even a coach in person that can help you look at what you're doing because it may feel right, but you might not be going the direction that you want to go to. Just make sure that you get that efficient practice. Please like, follow, and subscribe. It's now time to shut everything down. We'll see you next time.